Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. If you want to join my live streams, check out the link in my description and in the comments. But we're going to talk about the legitimization or legalization of Chinese crypto exchange, or the possibility of. Now, I still only think there's maybe about a 10% chance of this happening within the next few months. But Hainan province has actually released a kind of a statement saying that they actually support leading enterprises on building digital currency trading platform. Digital currency is another way in China of saying cryptos. This actually might be in collaboration with their CBDC release sooner or later, and that might actually help it. I'm not really sure. This document's in Chinese. What it basically says, it does mention digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and it says the province of Hainan. Hainan's kind of a sort of like a special economic zone, so they might not be the same thing as the rest of China, and they might actually use Hainan to test out. So Hainan, Hong Kong, Macau, and a couple other places are special economic zones. But the government of Hainan posted an announcement saying that it supports leading enterprises to building digital currency trading platforms. That's kind of like the state of Wyoming, basically saying oh, we support and we want to build a digital currency trading platform. Let me explain a little bit how the Chinese government actually works. The Chinese government is not like the American government. The relationship between the provinces and the states, I'm not exactly sure about special economic zones because those have they vary from each economic zone to each economic zone. But the difference between a province like Hainan and a state like Wyoming is states have a lot more autonomy than provinces. The state governor and the president, it's not like a top-down relationship. A lot of times they're equal and they struggle against each other. Yes, there is the supremacy clause, but there's a lot that actually goes into that with the American governments. The federal government doesn't nearly have complete power over the state government. We are a federation of 50 states, so the states actually have a lot of autonomy, and each state had different laws. Now, in China, that's completely different. China is a top-down structure. Basically, let's say, the state governors are basically a brigadier generals. The guys in the central party are lieutenant generals. And then the political bureau are generals. And then you have Xi Jinping, who's God King up there. So that's kind of how the Chinese structure works. It's a much more top-down structure. The provinces have to listen to the central government, and Hainan is an actual province. Now, it does have special privileges being a special economic zone, but it's each zone is a little bit different. I'm not really sure about the technicalities of that. So the Hainan administration has to listen to the central administration. So if the central government in Beijing still is very much against it, Hainan itself can't really do that much. But if the central government is starting to open up because of this whole Binance thing, then maybe we can actually get something. Hubei is actually in Hainan. So maybe they'll actually start allowing Chinese cryptos, Chinese exchanges to list Chinese cryptos or cryptos approved in China. Now, which cryptos will this actually benefit? Let me actually give you the lowdown on that. I don't think it's only Chinese cryptos, all right? There's going to be quite a few that this could actually benefit. There's going to be Chinese and non-Chinese. So we're going to go with the non-Chinese first. Ethereum and EOS might actually benefit. We know that they're both in the public aspect of the Chinese national blockchain. So since the Chinese government has done EOS and Ethereum in the Chinese national blockchain, this might actually benefit them, especially as Chinese people see that. Also, EOS is #1 in the CCID rankings. And if crypto exchanges are allowed, the CCID rankings might actually be kind of a guide. It's a crappy guide, but it might be sort of a guide for Chinese people to actually invest. At least some Chinese people, because people always want to look for a list or something for investing. So Ethereum and EOS, because they're part of the Chinese national blockchain. Although, interestingly, you can't access Ethereum and EOS nodes from China, so I'm not really sure how that actually works. But Ethereum and EOS might get a boost. I think EOS probably more than Ethereum because it's a smaller coin. And then talking about CCID rankings, you got Tron. Tron will definitely get a boost as well, because I don't really know what Justin Sun's relationship with the Chinese government is. I know he has to listen to them. They kind of like him and they make him a celebrity, but they also don't kind of like him saying random crap. So it's like a back and forth between Tron and the Chinese government. And he has had actually to apologize to the Chinese government before. So I'm not really sure what the relationship is, but Tron will actually benefit from this too. So, and then the other cryptos, VeChain will benefit from this. Obviously, VeChain is one of the approved projects in China. So VET will definitely benefit from this. Neo, or Chinese Ethereum, or it's trying to be Chinese Ethereum, will probably benefit from this as well. A lot of people might FOMO back into Neo. Remember, Neo went up to $160 last time. So there could be a lot of FOMO power back into Neo. Now, Neo is trying to launch 3.0, which is supposed to be like Chinese Ethereum. I don't actually think it's going to be Chinese Ethereum. We know that Neo 2.0 technology was kind of garbage because all the transactions went up to like $190 or something stupid like that, so it became completely unusable. But some Chinese people might want to FOMO into Neo. And then the last one a couple of others I want to talk about, Ontology. We know that's a Chinese coin as well, mostly, and Chinese investors might actually flock to that. But I think like those Chinese coins, Neo, VET, Ontology, and then there's going to be other things like Dragon Chain and a couple of smaller ones, maybe like WAN Chain, stuff like that, that could be affected. But like I would say that the 7 or 8 you need to look for are going to be EOS, Ethereum, Tron, VET, Neo, Ontology, maybe like Dragon Chain or WAN Chain. Like those would actually be ones I would actually look at. You could actually explore other Chinese coins, but I really do think the ones that are actually approved by the Chinese government are going to be the ones that get actually the investments. And especially for like VeChain, because it actually has a lot of partnerships within China, especially with the Shanghai Department of Gas and Energy. So I do believe that it will benefit a lot. But those are kind of the coins you would want to look at if actually China were to open up for exchanges. They will favor Chinese coins, obviously, and coins that can be controlled by the central government. But I do think EOS and Ethereum will actually benefit from it as well. So that is the report. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.